Hello Stampers, my name is Helen Borer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Seward, Nebraska. This is episode 3 of my Using Up Your 12 by 12 Designer Paper series. Today we're going to make 3 cards that start out with a 5.5 by 12 inch strip of DSP. So we're going to come in, got the same 3 sheets of paper that I used last time, and I'm going to cut off a 5.5 inch strip off of each of these. And that gives us a little left over, so you could make 2 of these cards out of a full sheet. Okay, so then we're going to bring in our scoreboard. You could use whatever scoring tool you like. Okay, so we're going to start out with this piece of card, and we're going to score it at 1 3/4, 4 3/4, oops, and 7 3/4. Okay, something seems wrong here. Well, no, that's right. No, it's not. 1 3/4, 4 3/4. Oh, this score line, I said 7 3/4, and I scored at 6 3/4. So we're going to pretend I didn't do that and go at 7 3/4. Okay, so this is going to be a tri-fold card. We're going to fold on that last score line, and if for any reason you don't have this straight, you can work on that. Okay, so then we're going to skip that wrong one. And we're going to make a tri-fold card. Okay, so we went at 1 3/4, 4 3/4, and 7 3/4, and we're just pretending we didn't screw up. So there's our first card. That can go in either direction. All you have to do is reverse the folds, and we'll make that decision when we decorate it here shortly. This card fold was inspired by Linda Bowen. So it's just a simple tri-fold there. Okay, so then our next card, we're going to use this piece. This is from the Sand and Sea Suite, and we're going to make a card that was inspired by Stamper's Delight. And this card was, well, actually, this card was supposed to start out at just 5 1/4 inches instead of 5 1/2. So we're going to cut off, and the reason for this is that we are using a different card base, so we need to leave a little border. If you weren't leaving a border, you could just go ahead with it at 5 1/2. Oh, and it was also supposed to be by 10, so we're going to cut off 2 inches. So that gives us 5 1/4 by 10. And this card we're going to score at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're going to go at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So what we have here is 2 inches on each end and then an inch in between. And we're going to use this to make a card like that, where we fold our insert to be like that. So we're going to accordion fold each of these folds. Okay, and then what you have here is a piece like that, and it'll be put into a card base like that. Or it can go the other direction, and of course you just invert the folds, and we can decide that when we decorate it here after a bit. Our third piece of cardstock is going to be this piece from the, I think it was Flowering Fields or whatever. It was from Celebration. It is no longer available. And this card was inspired by Alyssa Tilsner. And we're going to make a trifold card with a window. And basically we just need it in thirds. So we're going to go at 4 inches and 8 inches. And then you get to decide which way is out and which way is in. But it's just going to make a card like that. And we're going to make it a window card like this one is here. So I will work on how we're going to decorate that and be right back. Hello Stampers, I'm back with my using up your DSP video. You recall we just cut and folded this card base, and we're going to put it into a Whisper White card. So basically what I'm going to do is put glue on this 2-inch strip. And it's going to be positioned just so there is a slight border all the way around. We're going to put glue on the other side. And it's also going to be positioned so that there's just a slight border all the way around. And then at this point, you should be able to fold your card base and close your card. That's our card base. On the front of our card, we are going to add a little piece of gray granite and another strip of that DSP. Okay, so then we're going to decorate this card with the Sand and Sea Suite. I have gone ahead and stamped out some starfish sea dollar or sand dollars, and we're going to go ahead and cut them out. And I've also already cut out 2 pieces of card with this big die. This one I have already embossed, and this one I have not. And my main reason for that is to test out what people have been doing. And with this, I'm gonna take this big shell in it's gray granite. And okay, so I'm gonna stamp it on this piece. And you can see what it did. People have also been stamping after it's embossed, and it gives just a slightly different look. It only puts the ink kind of on the top of the shell. So we're going to do all of our shells like that. Okay, so then we need to emboss this one, and I'm going to use it the embossing folder. I have the Stampin' Up side up. And if you put this into that side, it just sort of fits in, and you will actually kind of feel when you are in the right place. It's actually, I think, well, almost have it here. Okay, so we're going to run that through. So here's these two pieces side by side. And it depends kind of what look you're going for. Both of them are nice. Okay, what we're going to do now is cut some of these out. You can just trim around the places that have and I may actually leave that on here. I'm also going to show you another trick. Since I was a little bit off, I'm going to trim this. But if you want this shell to be smaller, you can cut off sections. We're going to cut off those top 3 sections. And see how that gives us a little bit smaller shell. So I'm going to finish cutting out these shells and then we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I have cut out my sand dollars, my starfish, and whatever that little shell is with those dies. And I have cut apart my other shells. So I've basically got 2 of each shell here. And let's go ahead and start putting our card together. I want to put a sentiment up at the top. I've chosen "You are unique and completely amazing." And we'll put it up here. And boy, did that not work. And I messed up. Well, let's see. We're going to, and the reason that didn't work is because I have, it wasn't smooth inside. So we're going to stamp our sentiment and let's just trim it close around. So there we have it. We will, where'd it go? We will just place that over there. A little bit of glue will do that. And our other boo-boo, we will try to cover up with a seashell or some greenery. Okay, so let's decide what we want here. I know I want this big shell down here. And we need to use one of these. And you know, that can perfectly hide that little thingy. I think that'll go there. I want a sand dollar. We need some greenery. How about some of that? We'll have to trim it a little to so it doesn't cover up our sentiment. Got a couple of rough edges here. Okay, so then we need to decorate the inside of our card. And I think we'll take this shell. This is the one that we cut off a couple sections. And let's stick it in, just like that. I think I'm running out of glue here. On this middle section, and we just put the glue on the one side. And we do need to pay attention so that it doesn't stick out. Let's see. Let's try this one down here. And a sand dollar, about one right over here. And maybe we should call it good before we ruin something. Meanwhile, we did not use all the shells, so we can save those for another project. And I want to also put a sentiment on here. I have friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. And I think I'm going to put it over here. So we're going to need the ink. Wasn't the greatest stamping job, but I think we'll call that our card. Maybe put some bling on it yet. Gotta put some bling on it. I like the opal rounds with, oops. Let's take some big ones. Here's a little one. Gotta have one down there. Maybe one over here. Maybe one up there. Well, that should do it. So there's our card. Okay, so our next card we're gonna do this one. This, you recall, we had this just accordion fold. I am going to, these are the largest two stitched shapes, the oval ones. And we'll layer those up. We got gray granite and white. And then I had some previously stamped donkeys. And I think we'll just glue him down. Okay, so part of it isn't gonna be glued because he's taller, but I think we'll put him here. And then we want to center him on here, but we only want glue to about halfway of the donkey, so maybe only a third of this. So let's put that down there. And we're good on our glue. And we need to say something there. I think we'll go with, "Hey there, friend." And I think we'll use this gray granite. That looks good. And, well, we're going to use that again. Then for the inside of our card, I've cut a piece of gray granite. And it's just a 1/4 inch smaller all the way around. That is going to become our layer. It'll show from the front. And then so we can write, let's put on this panel. So that doesn't show from the front. But then for decoration, we can add this cute little donkey down here. Oops. Okay, so I think we'll call that good on our card. We might want to put some bling on there. But meanwhile, this could still be birthday, thinking of you, just any reason. And it's a cute card. I think it could even go masculine. So that's card number 2. Okay, card number 3 was this one. Okay, so we had this trifold card, and I used the stitched shapes dies, and I used the 2 largest circles. Okay, so I cut a circle out of there, okay, so this would have been cut out of there. We may or may not use that. I cut one the same size out of white, and we're going to take it and layer it through the window on the front. And it just fits perfectly in there, so it's in the right spot. Then we took the 2 biggest circles and lined them up together and cut it like this, so we end up with a frame to put around here. So, and we probably won't use both of those circles, we'll see. And so, put some glue on there and layer it around. Oh boy, did I make a mess. That's what the adhesive eraser is for. We'll have to wait for it to dry. Actually, maybe it's not real bad. Let's push it down flat. But meanwhile, then we have this. The one mistake that I can tell that I made already is I should have stamped on here first, but we'll figure that out. We cut a piece of white to fit in here. Well, and okay, so I was thinking maybe we could put this down here. Let's just put it on the corner and cut it off. And that way we're using our little piece. Okay, so we put that on the corner and we'll just cut this off. Yeah. Well, it's done. I don't know if I like that or not, but and we just center that piece in this area. Okay, and what I was going to do here, and I think we'll still do it, maybe we'll just do the butterfly, and that way it won't hang off. We have both an outline and a cover for the butterfly. And let's start with, and I think we'll use black for this. So let's ink up our butterfly. And let's put him down right there. There he is. And maybe we should just leave him that way. Yeah. But let's take some crushed curry and put in I think we'll stamp off once, and we can I think I'm also going to see if I can put a little bit of Flirty Flamingo to get just a different color, sort of. And we'll do that stamped off too. And oh, you can't even really see it, but that looks pretty good. I think we'll just call that good and leave it without sentiments and take it from there. So I hope you enjoyed, and make some cards using up your DSP. Okay, so then let's bring back in the cards we made. Put a lot of effort and work into this one. Somebody would be amazed. We also just finished this one. It's kind of fun. And this one is super simple and good for men or women. So there we are.